would like to review some musical symbols with you, many of which you know already. For instance, what is that called? Time signature. And where will you find this time signature? You'll find it at the very beginning of your composition. What does the top number mean? How many counts in each measure? And the 4 on the bottom means that the quarter note equals 1 count. Can you tell me another time signature? 3/4, 2/4, 1/4. 3/4 has 3 counts in each measure. 2/4 has 2 counts in each measure. 1/4 has 1 count in a measure. How about this? This is called a repeat sign. And this repeat sign tells me to go back to the beginning. Notice that it has the 2 dots. If I didn't have the 2 dots and I covered them up, what would it mean? This is the end of the song. You're finished. Take your bow and go home. We have dotted whole note. The dot is always half of what comes before it. Since the whole note is 4 counts, the dot is half of 4, so 4 plus 2 equals 6 counts. The dotted whole note. How about this? This is a quarter note. Do you remember seeing this in the pencil sharpener grind around measure 27 with the pizzicato? This dot underneath the note means that it is short. It does not change the rhythm. It just means that they want a short quarter note, which equals 1 count. How many counts is this? 1 count, and they are called what? Eighth notes. Quarter note, 1 count. Sharp sign. And we know sharp sign on 2 fingers, the F sharp and the C sharp. Is that first finger, second finger, third finger? Second finger for violin and viola, third finger for the cello. How many measures is this? Here's the first measure, here's the second measure. But these 2 dots tell us something. Remember what the 2 dots mean? To repeat. So we are repeating what's in these 2 measures. We repeat it once, and then we go on. Dotted half note. How many counts is that? 3. Whole note, 4 counts. Half note, 2 counts. Who plays this? Is it the violin, the viola, or the cello? It's the cello. This is the bass clef. And the bass clef is used by any instrument that is low sounding. So if you think about the low sounding instruments of the orchestra, you might say that the cello and the bass plays this from the string section. The bassoon plays this from the woodwind section. The tuba and the trombone play this from the brass section. And the timpani plays this, or a drum plays this from the percussion section. Bass clef. Now, is this a hat or a hole in the ground? This is a hole. So if this is a hole in the ground, it must mean that it's a whole rest, equaling how many counts of rest? 4 counts of rest. Now this is an Italian word, and I would like you to sound it out. I'm going to cover up the O. Can you sound this out? The English word to this would be moderate. The Italian word is moderato. Well, what does moderate mean? It means that the tempo that you are using is not too fast or not too slow. I think of it like the 3 bears, Goldilocks, goes in to try the Papa Bear's porridge and it's too hot. And then she tries the Mama Bear's porridge and it's too cold. But then she tries Baby Bear's porridge and it's just moderato, just in the middle, just right. So you will always see this tempo marking at the beginning of every song. There are other tempo markings, but tempo markings belong in the beginning of a song, of a selection. Moderato. And this is an Italian word. This is a quarter rest, and it equals how many counts? 1. What kind of a rest is this? Does it look like a hat? Then it must be a half. This is a half rest, and it equals 2 counts. Now, this might look a little different to you because we always have 2 of these. This is 1/8 note. We always talk about 2/8 notes because they're a team together, and 2 of them together equal 1 count. So how much does a half of a team, how much is 1/8 note worth? A half of a beat. That's why we need 2 of them to make 1 complete beat. Well, we know that that's already a hat, a half rest. And we see this on our pencil sharpener ground. Starts with a T, ends with an E. There's a note here and a note there. It's a tie, and we are tying these same notes together on 1 bow stroke. Pretty good. All right, let me ask you about this one now. Who plays this? The high sounding instruments like the violin. What other high sounding instrument of an orchestra do you think plays in the treble clef? About the flute of the woodwind section, the clarinet of the woodwind section, the oboe in the woodwind section. And if we go to the brass section, how about the trumpet and the French horn? And if we go to the percussion section, probably the bells or the xylophone, the glockenspiel would play in the treble clef. But the viola does not play in the treble or bass clef. The viola plays the alto clef. Okay, now, how many lines is a staff? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The staff has 5 lines and 4 spaces, and you always count from the bottom to the top. So first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. First space, second space, third space, fourth space. Okay, until next time, see you soon. Bye.